but understanding that the challenge that's before you is a historic one, and I don't want to understate that, because we're asking you to do things, both from David's seat and mine, that we arguably have never had to do before. So it's in that vein that over the course of the next few minutes, I want to offer more thoughts than answers, quite frankly, because I think if we're honest with one another, there are no set answers in place. And I don't mean to sound cliche or kick the can down the road. The thought process that has to go into some of these solutions, again, can't be understated. And I think Dwaynesburg pointed out a critical point. We have to do a better job at learning from one another, because I think you'll hear me speak in generalizations today, which again, from the state level, we have to do that, particularly when we have 700 school districts. We can't differentiate necessarily, so let me put in the default up front that we know there are exceptions to the rule. The problem is we don't know who you are all the time. And so what we want to do is we provoke you with some thoughts today. If this fits your district and it fits how you operate, I would love to hear from you, because as David suggested, both sides of the street, we need to do a much better job at listening, finding those models, figuring out how they work statewide. What I'll suggest throughout the presentation this morning is that what this slide suggests is that it's time to shift from this target of completion, where we looked at the high school diploma as a meaningful set of currency in the global marketplace, shifting to a different currency, and the currency now is readiness. And what does that look like? I'm going to suggest to you that it's a very different set of currencies that in fact is going to require different approaches, tools, resources, and understanding. So we will not say, and you will not hear coming from the executive team at the State Education Department, do more with less. We're asking you to do different with less. And let me take you through what we believe is the logic model for the Regent's reform agenda. And the bottom line is, if we want different, specifically better outcomes, we have to have higher expectations, do we not? What do those expectations come in the form of? They come in the form of standards. In our case, they come in the form of the Common Core standards. If in fact we are going to know whether or not a student is meeting those standards, there's only one way to do it. And this is a nasty thing to say in front of a group of educators at times. We have to assess them. And that's simply the fact of the matter. Standards mean nothing unless you assess them. And the assessment can't come only at the end of the year.